This is government number 4, and this is explaining what we have to do to our government to make sure that we can clean up the problems that we're having and have a free government that will serve all of the people. The most important thing that we have to do is make sure that everyone that is coming into the government are only people that are to serve the people. They're to institute the different jobs that need to be done and make sure contracts are written so that people may bid on the work that needs to be done, and the work can be accomplished through people that are working to accomplish the working, not because they're civil servants or government workers. The One of the major things that we've done for a long time is we've overspent. We have to spend within our means. We need to make sure that the work is being done, the people are getting provided with the services they need, and we are doing work that will allow citizens to continue having a life that is full of pleasure and entertainment, and also pay the bills as they go. We have a large debt that needs to be repaid, and it will be a period of time before that will ever get done. Government people say that the debt is ongoing and cannot be lowered. It is a situation where the government cannot offer work to the people and not have it paid for, so that they continue running up the deficit, so that it is so much money that no one can even begin to think how it can ever be repaid. We need to encourage industry to look into different ways of doing things, to continue creating opportunity that will bring in uh, finances that will pay what needs to be done. One of the major problems that we have to deal with is the disparity between the working class and the management. The management in the last few years has gone up 1,000 times what the workers are able to get. It is no wonder that the young people today cannot even think about looking forward to making enough money to pay to have a decent living. We need to be able to have the individuals that are doing the work get paid an adequate amount of money so they can have a decent life, and the people that are supervising them has to be of a amount of money that is reasonable for the difference in effort and work that they are performing. We need to have more independent industries working so that we can have an opportunity to have people look at what is being done and see how it can be done as a better and a more efficient system, costing the government less money to get accomplished the things that need to be accomplished, that keeps the government moving. We want to be able to move forward where we continue to expand our economy. And one of those expansion needs, I believe, is moving on out into space and having to do things now that have never been thought of before. I believe that we were on a period of time in life that we are duplicating what happened to the Philistines. The Philistines ended up eliminated from the competition in the earth, and I think that that happened because they had a long life and a long pattern of doing what they wanted to do, which is trading throughout the world and providing bronze for the people. But I think that uh, during the years of time that they did this, that they were not aware of what other things could happen. And the idea that they were unaware about what volcanoes could do ended up taking them out of existence. Now we're in a situation now where we have a lot of people, and we've covered a good area of the world with productive people continuing to move forward and to manufacture things that will take care of the costs of running the government without pretending that we are going in the hole and having to spend money that is not available, and act as though we can continue spending more money than the people are able to produce. We have to be able to produce what is being spent. If we cannot do that, it cannot be spent, and we have to continue enlarging our thinking about what needs to be done so that all of the people will have an opportunity to have a decent life by putting into the system their efforts and getting the result of their efforts back in a manner that they have a life and have extra left over for the government to be able to pay for the services that they are providing as well. In the last few years, we have allowed so much deficit to be run up and continue spending beyond our means that people think that this could go on forever. We have a debt that is almost unbelievable. It is so large. We have to turn it around so that people are actually producing more than we're consuming. And we have to do it in a manner that we are not cheating the workers so that they have to spend every penny they're making just to barely survive. That will leave no money for the government to be able to continue repaying the money that has been overspent. The government workers that we have, we must be able to do the work that is being done at a more efficient rate. And it is my position that government workers are never efficient enough to get the job done properly. If it cannot be sourced out to the public, then it will not be done at an appropriate time so that people can have money left over to pay for other activities. There is, in my opinion, never been a time that any socialist or nationalist system has been able to overspend what they're producing and continue to function so that the people can have what is necessary to exist. We have to be able to manufacture things in a way that is cheap enough for everyone to have a decent living with what is being put on the market. The capitalist system that we're using is a system that says this is the most efficient, the best product at the lowest price that can be produced and provided to the people that are consuming it. And we have to make sure that that attitude gets placed into government as well. And the only way that that can be done is if the people that are taking advantage of the money that's being spent for government are having to bid on it to keep the prices as low as they can. As long as you have an open checkbook, the opportunity to cut costs will never happen. It's only when the people realize that we have to make sure we're more efficient, that things get done more efficiently, people get the job done, and we can move on providing other services with the time that is being spent. In Government Under 3, I express the failure that we had experienced separating the government into three different branches that we had. That we had professional politicians that were in the government that were able to thwart the whole purpose of having a government in the first place. And they need to institute a system which will be different among the different people bidding the job as to how they're going to accomplish this purpose. And when the different companies give their bids, then the contract will have to be let to someone that is going to be doing a job that is clearly already being done by someone else. So that means that there has to be a scheduling date among the people that need to have the different things done so that other people get their portion done in the time so that other people can build on it without it completely stalling the entire system. So what we will have is a system of government where one person is actually doing the government work, and another person is possibly bidding on doing the work that is being done at the time, but is planning to do it in the future. So we cannot have people that are bidding work that is going to be done in the future to be interfere with the work that is being taken place of at that time. The people that are bidding the work cannot have access to the people that are doing the work at the time so as to interfere with getting that work not being done appropriately on the time that they're scheduled to get it done. Now, in order to do that, that means that we have to have the legislators, when they come into office, do work that will not actually start until several months after they take office. They'll have to be sworn in, take their duty, and their official duty will have to start at a different period of time. But once that gets rolling and it gets started that way, anytime that someone thinks something should be done, it will be thought about, it will be planned ahead, it will be put out as an experimental thing to try among the community to see if it is actually helping and if it actually serves the purpose that it's being created to accomplish. When I did government 3, I expressed some of the defects that we've been able to produce with the government, all 3 branches of government, by making those even 25% more efficient than they are now. Then we can get to the point where we can actually pay for what is being produced. The people that are producing it will have a decent living. The economy will continue to flow, and we will continue to be able to have an economy that makes money, makes a profit, is not deficit spending, and the people are getting a decent living along the way. Now, in the future, we must continue to be open to all forms of exchanges that will allow people to be able to consume more at a lower cost to each person so that we can continue to provide the people in need the services that they need to have a decent life. We need to clean up the professional politicians that are totally throwing away money in order to pretend as though they're being a service to the community, and make sure the money that is spent is actually a service to the people that need the money, and that it is doing the job that will fix the problem they're having, that instituted the need for the system to be instituted that will provide for their consumption and at a price where they can afford, and we can continue moving forward. We have been able to produce way more money than we can afford. We give away millions of dollars to other nations, trying to encourage them to join and work. And we need to concentrate on making sure that we're taking care of the needs here at home with people that have a clear thinking of what we need to accomplish, and always put new blood in the system by not having professional politicians do the job. Someone has basically spent more than 50% of their life in what we refer to as public service must be put out where they can learn to do things in a way that does make a profit, that produces a product for the people to consume, where it is not necessary to have to do it with deficit spending. And the only way that that can be accomplished is continue to have new people that come up with new ideas, come forward and get the job done. They have to have the facilities available so that people will move onto the premises those things that are necessary to accomplish the work. And a lot of the times it will be the employers that will be moving the equipment in to facilitate the people they've trained to do work in a certain way. So when we are doing this work, we're actually contracting out to get an end result. I hope that I have challenged the people that need to look at what is being done, step up and accomplish the job that needs to be done without running up the cost, but continue providing to the people exactly what a capitalism is supposed to do, which is provide to the people the commodities that is being provided at the least possible price that it can be provided. In government number 5 is to come up with a system where the elected officials are coming together. They're making decisions about what they need to be responsible for, what their responsibilities are, and then their responsibilities need to be put into specific actions of how those responsibilities will be achieved. And once those are put into specific actions on how those are to be achieved, then we want to be able to put those out so that the public can bid on those jobs, so that the people that actually do the work are not employees of the government. They're employees of the company that's being contracted by the United States government to accomplish the work. Now, a lot of the work will be done by individuals that probably have little or no contact with the government at all. But on the other hand, they're doing work that is completely connected with the activities they're taking on, the daily activities of the people that have been elected. So we have to have a system where people that come to work are coming to work knowing that they are working for a government at the lowest possible cost that can be obtained. And with that being said, we should be able to fix our problems in a few years and be on a road to recovery where people will know the United States of America will be around for many more years to come. We won't have been a flash in the pan that came here today, was here today, and gone tomorrow. We continue to raise people that can get in and do the jobs that need to be done, that will support the economy, that will provide the necessities of life to the people that are going to be consuming them, and make sure that this is always done in a attitude where people that are going to be doing the work are always aware that it is their responsibility to keep the price as low as they can, and can only be done if they're competing against other people and keeping their prices down as low as they possibly can, and then they are driven to produce the service that they have promised to produce and get it done within the price that they have promised to do. This has been done for many years by contractors. It can be done by expanding the contracting system and the public utility system and the what we call public service system will actually have to step up to the plate and become as efficient as our private enterprise. And that will be the gap that will fill the void between what we say can be done and can actually be accomplished. It has to be done through competition. Without the competition, there is no basically motivation for the people to accomplish what needs to be done, which is present the item at a less rate than it was presented last year, and even at a more efficient system and at a lower cost to the individual consuming it, so that there will be more of a surplus left over for the government to be able to pay the indebtedness that they have run up over the years by overpaying people for the work that is being produced. For now, I'm going to be terminating this part of the program. I hope that if you find something that you find that is challenging about what is being said, that you will come back and support me and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you when I produce the next Government 5. Thank you for coming, and goodbye for now.